Rich, we just want to thank you first and foremost for taking the time out of your, I'm sure, busy schedule to speak with Cage Religion Radio.
Absolutely. This is really a honor and a privilege, man. I'm a big fan of what you guys are doing, so thank you for having me.
Let's get things started, Rich. With so many stars in the upcoming Strikeforce Heavyweight Grand Prix, talk a little bit about the process and the overall mindset behind booking this tournament.
Well, we've really been working on this for a long, long time. I know from checking out the forums and just, hearing from our fans through the website and Facebook and Twitter and just the various ways to give you feedback on Strikeforce. People are wondering why are all the heavyweights kind of on hiatus, and this is the reason. We've been planning this for a long time. We strongly feel we have the deepest heavyweight division in the sport, and this is the best way, the ideal way to showcase them. And I think that the tournament format is a format sports fans and MMA fans in general, I think, seem to enjoy. And what better way to prove, who truly is the best heavyweight in the best heavyweight division in the sport than with this tournament.
Now, many consider Alistair Overeem and Fabricio Verdum to be somewhat of a main event in and of itself. What was the main reason, behind booking this match in the first round of the tournament?
Well, I think those guys were, on a collision course, and it's what the fans wanted. It was a very logical fight. Both guys wanted it, actually, and we wanted to deliver. It's going to be a hell of a fight. I think both guys have come a long way since their first encounter. And it's really, at the end of the day, what the fans wanted. And really, these guys were on a collision course to face each other. And the timing was right, so we're looking at booking that fight in the next round of the tournament.
And now, from what I understand, since the belt isn't changing hands, the winner of the tournament will be in line for a title shot. Now, in theory, what happens if Alistair Overeem wins this tournament?
Yeah, that's a very interesting question. I think, then he's hands down the baddest man on the planet. He'd be the Grand Prix champion and the heavyweight champion as well. And, this is a model that existed in Pride, where, champions fought in the Grand Prix and their titles weren't up for grabs. Instead, they were fighting for a Grand Prix title. So it's not, this isn't something that we created. It's been out there already.
Now, how will the alternates work? If needed, will they be selected based on their performance on February 12th?
Yeah, I think we're going to go and move forward and select alternates based on who really goes out there and puts on a great show. We have 3 heavyweight bouts on February 12th that can serve as alternate bouts in addition to the 2 tournament bouts. So we've got lots of heavyweights, lots of talented heavyweights, and we'll have plenty of options and solid ones at that if something does indeed happen to one of the original 8.
And again, to touch on the alternates, there's been talk on whether or not Daniel Cormier will end up as an alternate. Can you shed some light on that?
Well, when we booked the February 12th fights, Daniel was already booked on the January 7th card, so he wasn't an option for us at that time. Bout agreements were signed, commitments were made. We couldn't pull him out of that fight. Anything's possible, to be honest. We'll probably have some special heavyweight bouts sometime in April for the next round, and you might see Daniel on there. It's kind of wide open right now.
Now, when all is said and done, is there a chance that we can end up seeing the finals on pay-per-view?
It's certainly possible. This tournament just has a lot of legs. There's lots of different opportunities for us, and pay-per-view is certainly one of them.
Now, on our message boards on CageReligion.com, there's been a big discussion going on about where the winner stands in terms of worldwide rankings. In your opinion, does the winner of this tournament deserve to be considered the number 1 heavyweight in MMA?
Absolutely. I think this is the deepest crop of heavyweights in the world, the most talented. 1 through 8, the credentials are insane. These are the best heavyweights in the world.
Now, the tournament aside, Strikeforce has double title fights coming up this weekend, actually, with Nick Diaz defending against Evangelista Santos and Ronaldo Jacare Souza taking on Robbie Lawler. If Diaz makes it through Cyborg, who are some of the front runners for a title shot in the welterweight division?
Well, thanks for bringing up the show next weekend. You know, a lot of people have unfortunately shifted all their focus and attention to the Grand Prix. It's really that special, but you know, let's not forget we have some really awesome fights next weekend. If Nick gets past Cyborg, you know, we've got Paul Daly in line. I mean, he could certainly be next to the winner of Diaz Cyborg, and Paul needs, you know, no introduction. The guy's a badass. He's been around. He's proven himself. So he would certainly be a very legitimate number one contender. We just saw Tyron Woodley in a very impressive performance on January 7th, and I think he's another contender. He's a little more seasoning, but he's certainly in the mix there.
Now, with the buzz surrounding Thursday's media conference call, and, you know, Nick Diaz talking about Mayhem Miller again, is this a fight you guys are actively pursuing, or has this thing kind of been put to rest at this point?
You know, truthfully, we haven't spoken about it in a while. Yesterday, when it came up on the call and Nick went off, it's the first time I've heard of it in a while since we announced that Nick would be fighting Cyborg. I think, you know, these guys are on a collision course, like I mentioned earlier. You know, Verdum and Overeem being on a collision course. I mean, these two guys are. I think we just have to leave it alone, and it's going to come together. To be honest, you know, at when I don't know, where I don't know, but I just have a feeling, you know, it'll come together one of these days.
Now, wrapping up, Rich, we just want to give you a chance to take this opportunity to give any shout-outs, anybody you want to thank, anything you would like to say to the fans before we get going?
I just really want to thank everyone for their support. It's been really overwhelming. I really feel like, you know, we have our own strong fan base, and it's growing. We're getting tons of support, you know, whether it's through emails, you know, the various social media mediums, and just the support has been overwhelming, especially for the Grand Prix, and we're working hard to put on the best fights out there, and this is all for the fans. That's what it's all about, so we really appreciate all the support.
And again, Rich, we just want to thank you for taking the time out of your schedule to speak with Cage Religion Radio.
Well, thank you very much. I'm going to continue to follow the site, and thanks again for the support.